I'm doing rapid-fire hyper-condensed reviews, no time to waste, let's go! While Future Vision is not always reliable, as we saw in great detail in one of the upcoming episodes, yet still think there'd be only one outcome if Garnet made the remarks she did after Steven brings her onto the Sun Incinerator. Garnet's lack of tact and forethought, given that she had time to prepare for the meeting aside, the episode itself was essentially a recap episode. Other than a few minor details that confirmed ideas fans already had, the story Garnet recounts to the off-colors contained events we already knew about. While the recap does serve to inform the off-colors on the whole Earth situation, I wouldn't mind if the update simply happened off-screen. Heck, until this episode I'd already kinda assumed Steven had done that. As a recap episode, Your Mother and Mine works quite well, all things considered. The visuals were neat, although Garnet's storytelling did feel a little rushed at times. Should have cut out even more fluorite dialogue. But at the end of the day, the problem is simply that a lot, if not most, people think recap episodes are unnecessary, myself included. So if I consider recap episodes unnecessary and not my thing, well, that's that for this episode, isn't it? How much mileage you get out of the big show likely rests on your ability to enjoy Beach City Resident episodes this far into the series, as well as how big a fan of Sadie you are. While I do fall into the latter category, the same can't always be said for the former, but I had quite a decent time with this episode. While the song numbers were catchy, I did think they went on for too long, and ended up bogging the episode down more than anything. However, the lo-fi documentary gimmick was pretty fun, and I enjoyed Greg's involvement. He was the best part of the episode by far, and Sadie starting to have a healthier relationship with her mother by the episode's end was nice to see. Barbara has been trying not to be overbearing toward her daughter, and is now able to give Sadie the space she wants, while Sadie realizes that having her mom be interested and supportive in her creative pursuits might not be all that bad after all. The Big Show is not the best episode about Beach City folk, but it's super far from the worst. Sadie Killer and the Suspects gets a thumbs up from me. Also, apparently Joan Jett voiced Sunshine Justice? What? Future Vision has always rubbed me the wrong way a bit, because it can succeed or fail purely at the discretion of the writers, meaning it can be as faulty or as reliable as needed for any given moment. It can act like a get-out-of-jail-free card when convenient, but if the ability would ruin what the writers would otherwise want to happen, well, the excuse is that there were simply too many possibilities. That being said, pool hopping explores the byproduct of this ability, which is the mental toll on one's psyche from getting lost among all the probabilities. We get to explore the feeling of inadequacy that arises when Future Vision isn't actually helping you understand the future. And that's actually a fairly interesting concept, and I quite liked this episode. Garnet is suffering from some major anxieties, but she feels the burden of responsibility for leading the Crystal Gems, and hides her fears and worries by acting random. Or rather, she hopes that pursuing small passive improbability through random acts could help her get a better image of the unfolding future, but that was essentially the cover to conceal her anxieties. It essentially takes having a panic attack in front of Steven before she opens up, and Steven helps Garnet realize that focusing on possible futures too much can make Garnet myopic of the present. Sometimes the bigger picture is simply out of reach, so all one can do is focus on what should be done in the now. Which, of course, the brash and often impulsive Steven is the perfect candidate to consult when it comes to acting in the short term. The kid thinks that sometimes creating music is a higher priority than saving the world, after all. Seriously though, the episode does manage to have a strong emotional core, and also has a lot of fun comical moments throughout. I liked pool hopping, even if Steven and Garnet's size changes in practically every scene. Woof. If we're gonna cover tepid and bland Beach City events, I guess this would be the preferred way to do it. Sure would have loved if past episodes like Onion Gang and the New Crystal Gems, among others, could have been wrapped up into a single episode in a similar way. Letters to Lars was pretty whatever, watchable due to switching relatively quickly between various events and characters, but there wasn't enough comedy for me to actually have a good time with it. Dewey is the recurring character in almost every story Steven tells Lars, but the former mayor ending up with a job at the Big Donut? That's something I'm sure most of us saw coming after Sadie quit. I did not expect to have a segment where the Barrigas forgive Dewey though, and that was pretty neat. although I still feel all Dewey was responsible for was throwing salt into the wound after the fact. 99% of the reason Lars ended up in space was due to Steven's rash and careless actions a while ago, which of course the Bergas probably don't even know about, and it's probably something that won't be addressed, because it's easier to just skip the actual difficult interactions that would result. But hey, I guess it's at least nice that Steven is visiting Lars fairly often now. Steven did not pay Lars a single visit until Lars became a space captain after all. But I guess now that Lars is cool, Steven wants to drop in and hang out all the time or something. Yes, I am still salty over how the Lars plotline was handled after he became a pink zombie. So yeah, there were some hits and misses in this batch. I still can't believe Cartoon Network decided to promo the episodes with the diamonds. What a dirty bait and switch that only serves to further frustrate Vading fans who are becoming disillusioned with the series. Bad move, CN. Bad move.